Hello and welcome back to Scout Report, where today we're looking at 5 players who should leave their club this summer. Let's go. 5. Ryan Sessegnon. The 2018-19 season has been a watershed for young English talent. While Jadon Sancho has been ripping up the Bundesliga with Borussia Dortmund, calls from Chelsea fans for Callum Hudson-Odoi to receive more game time under Maurizio Sarri have been growing ever louder in the hope he doesn't follow Sancho to Germany. But just a year ago, Ryan Sessegnon was being talked about more than both of them, and despite Fulham's embarrassing efforts at staying in the Premier League, he has been quietly productive and certainly deserves to be playing for a top-flight club. Sessegnon is still just 18 years old and at 17 was named Championship Player of the Year after his 15 league goals helped the Cottagers to promotion in 2017-18. Considering his age, it's pretty amazing the wide man already has 3 full seasons under his belt, amounting to 115 senior appearances in total. For context, at the same age, Wayne Rooney had made 77 appearances for Everton and had scored 17 goals, compared to Sessegnon's 25. Granted, the West London lad's goal-scoring abilities have taken a knock this season, netting just twice in 30 Premier League games. However, XG has him at nearly double that, while his 6 league assists means his goal contribution amounts to over a quarter of Fulham's overall output of 30. And while he is still very raw, Sessegnon's underlying stats look very promising. For example, his 1.1 shots and 1.4 key passes a game, while unspectacular, could definitely be improved on at a better club. Valued at €35 million, Sessegnon's contract is due to run out in 2020, with talks currently ongoing with regards to an extension. Either way, it would be wise for Fulham to cash in this summer, or risk losing him for next to nothing like they did with Moussa Dembele and Patrick Roberts. But do you want to hear more about young talents such as Ryan Sessegnon? Make sure you subscribe to EFD and hit the notification bell so you don't miss another Scout Report. 4. Marcus Thuram. Another potential star due to get relegated this season is Marcus Thuram, whose form has spiked during Gangomp's worst campaign since their promotion to Ligue 1 back in 2013. Before 2018-19, the 21-year-old French forward had only scored 5 goals in 69 senior appearances, including just 1 in 2 full seasons with Sochaux in the second tier. But that has all changed this season, with Thuram running the Gangom attack almost single-handedly. He has scored 11 goals in 30 appearances in all competitions. Pretty impressive considering his team is taking just 10 shots a match, the worst record in the whole of Ligue 1. In fact, the Northwest club have managed just 19 league goals at the time of recording, meaning that Lilian's son has contributed 42% of their entire output in the French top flight. Capable of playing on the left or as a centre forward, Thuram completes 3.8 dribbles a game, which again accounts for nearly half the entire team's efforts, and is only bettered by 5 other players in the division. Meanwhile, his 73% success rate is astounding, especially when you consider Messi and Neymar are currently completing 61% of their take-ons. Add to that 2.2 shots a game, with 82% coming from inside the box, plus over 4 aerial duels won a match, and you have a very good all-round attacker. Okay, so one fantastic season doesn't automatically turn Thuram into a world beater, but he would certainly be an asset to a mid-table side in a top 5 league. And with a current market value of €11.2 million, he could be secured for a bargain. 3. Nikola Milenkovic. Unlike our first 2 entries, Serbian centre-half Nikola Milenkovic can probably see some positives to staying at his current club. He plays for a Fiorentina side which are in no danger of relegation, is part of a defence which is conceding the 3rd least shots in the whole of Serie A, and is playing under a good manager in Stefano Pioli. However, the 21-year-old already looks like he has the potential to join one of Europe's elite. Playing at both centre-back and right-back, Milenkovic has been indispensable to La Viola in 2018-19, starting 28 of a possible 32 games at the time of recording, and completing the full 90 in all but one of those matches. And it's not surprising, he currently completes 3.4 tackles and interceptions a game and makes 3.9 clearances, a figure only bettered by 2 other players in the side. The 6'5" man also wins 3 aerial duels a match and already looks mature for his age, committing a healthy 1.8 fouls per 90. In short, he looks like an excellent all-round defender who, with more experience, will become even more adept at playing out from the back, Although his pass accuracy only stands at 77%, he does complete 3.3 long balls a game. While he can certainly develop further in Italy, Milenkovic should probably be at a club playing Champions League football, and Fiorentina haven't finished in the top 4 since 2015. Valued at €30 million, his current employers would surely demand more in the 40 to 50 region. But with the likes of Man United, Barcelona and Atletico Madrid all in the market for defenders this summer, we wouldn't be surprised if he goes. 2. Philippe Coutinho. So we could be accused of jumping the gun on this one, as it's not much longer than a year since Barcelona splashed out €135 million on Philippe Coutinho. But considering the sheer size of that fee, the Brazilian forward has not been anywhere near productive enough at the Camp Nou. Since signing for the Blaugrana in January 2018, Coutinho has scored 13 goals and got 7 assists in around 3,000 league minutes. That amounts to a goal involvement every 155 minutes, which is some way off what Eden Hazard and even Paul Pogba are managing in the Premier League. This is even more concerning when you consider Man United and Chelsea are struggling for Champions League places, while Barcelona are walking La Liga. The former Liverpool man has struggled for consistent game time in 2018-19, with 10 of his 28 league appearances coming off the bench. That's the highest proportion of sub-appearances he's had since he left Inter Milan in 2013, and it hasn't even been effective. He has failed to contribute to a goal in 9 of those 10 games. And he has been particularly quiet on the creative front. His 2 league assists is his worst showing since 2012 and is beaten by 7 other players in the Barca squad, including Arturo Vidal, who has played less minutes than him. And it's no surprise, his chance creation has dropped off massively, managing just 1.4 key passes a match compared with 2 per 90 last season and over 3 during his final months under Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool. After being a key man for the German manager and his predecessor Brendan Rodgers at Anfield, Coutinho has suffered from Valverde's more conservative tactical approach. Couple that with the rise of Artur in midfield, the continued form of Ousmane Dembele, and the team's emphasis on using Messi as the key creative source, and it's difficult to see where exactly the Brazilian fits in the long term, especially if the current manager stays. Still valued at €140 million, the prospect of Coutinho being moved on to another club is far from impossible, especially when you take into account the money Barca spent on Frenkie de Jong and their need for a Suarez replacement. And considering he turns 27 this year, it could be the best outcome for the playmaker's career. 1. Hirving Lozano. A player we've looked at in past scout reports, Hirving Lozano is nearing the end of his 2nd season at PSV Eindhoven and already looks ready to take on a bigger challenge. Now 23, the Mexican forward has had another super productive campaign in the Eredivisie, scoring 15 and assisting 6 after 25 league outings. That works out to a goal involvement every 97 minutes, which is actually a slight drop-off from 2017-18, but still accounts for nearly 30% of the team's output. Furthermore, the season is still in progress, and Lozano has also had to accommodate more for striker Luuk de Jong, who has already scored 10 more than he managed in the last campaign. Nevertheless, the former Pachuca wonderkid is still putting up very impressive numbers for a wide man, taking 1.7 shots in the box a game, and has improved his dribbling too, now beating his man 65% of the time. He has also stepped up his game defensively, making 1.9 tackles and interceptions a match, hitting home just how important he has been to the Buren's title defence. With a number of potential suitors in Europe's top 5 leagues, now is the time for Lozano to make the leap. With 2 solid seasons under his belt and at an age where he should be starting every game, the fact he is interested in Napoli and Man United is pretty promising. Valued at €40 million, he could be a cheaper alternative to a talent like Jadon Sancho. So those were our 5 players we reckon should leave their club this summer, but what did you make of it? Is there anyone we missed out? Let us know in the comments below, and we might do a part 2 in the next couple of months. If you've enjoyed this video, why not go and check out Stat Wars, the league? And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later.